1987 may have been one of the later years for the Masters of the Universe toy line, but it still produced some of the coolest and most unique characters. That year gave us the motion picture figures, a few new members of the Snake Men, and a new member of the Evil Horde who just so happens to be a personal favorite of mine, Mosquitor. The evil, energy-draining insectoid made his first appearance in the Masters of the Universe canon in his included mini-comic Enter Buzzsaw Hordak. In this comic, we learn that Mosquitor has the ability to drain the energy of any life form using his long, needle-like nose. In the book, we see him use this ability on the Sorceress and He-Man, nearly defeating him. The comic even starts with him using his ability on his own teammate, Dragstore, to teach him a lesson for doubting Hordak. The action figure itself features the same stocky build as most of the rest of the figures in the vintage toy line. However, being one of the later releases, Mosquitor benefits from being an entirely unique sculpt whose parts were never reused for another figure. His head is long and pointy, with a mechanical shape to it. It's unclear if this is actually his head or just a helmet, possibly sitting over a head that more resembles a mosquito. His body primarily features blacks, reds, and silvers, and he wears some really unique silver boots on his feet. Mosquitor includes one accessory in his purple laser gun. The gun itself has a slight resemblance to the needle nose that sits upon his face. Now overall, Mosquitor has a pretty cool and eye-catching look, but the key factor that makes this figure so exciting lies solely in his action feature. Like other members of the Horde, Mosquitor features the Horde bat logo on his chest, but with a bit of a twist. This bat emblem is translucent, actually working as a small window, allowing you to see actual red liquid inside of his chest, resembling blood. There's a small button on Mosquitor's back that works as a pump for the liquid inside. Pumping that button allows the blood to flow through his chest, emulating the blood or life force that Mosquitor is sucking from his victim. It's quite an amazing visual that works amazingly well even 24 years later. Now, this blood-pumping action feature was not a new action feature for Mattel. A similar feature was used in 1976 for Mattel's Pulsar, the Ultimate Man of Adventure. This figure featured a translucent chest showing the man's insides, and featured a similar button that pumped the blood through. Then in 1979, Mattel released a toy called Gregory, the Vampire Bat. This toy featured the same blood-pumping action feature, but is even more like the one that is featured on Mosquitor. This giant rubber bat had a similar window on his chest and a button on his back that pumped the blood through exactly how it's done on Mosquitor. With this being a bit of a classic action feature of Mattel's, it was a perfect choice to add something cool and new to the Masters of the Universe line to try and help keep the variety and uniqueness of its characters. And with a giant bug-like character belonging to a group of characters in the Horde who were basically all big scary monster types, and having a gross-out blood feature was all the perfect way to appeal to young boys. Now, since Mosquitor was released later in the line, he is a bit hard to come by nowadays, and therefore does tend to cost a bit more. There have been instances where the red liquid inside the chest has dried out as well, which does take away from the appeal of the figure quite a bit. But if you can get a hold of a Mosquitor in good shape, he is certainly a terrific addition to your Evil Horde. Until next time.